Okay, hello everybody and welcome to Up and Moving, which is a physical activity program for the Upper Peninsula. My name is Isaac Wiedig. I'm a graduate student in the Kinesiology and Integrated Physiology department at Michigan Tech. Our goal with Up and Moving is to keep adults physically active by giving you virtual workouts that you can follow along with right from home using minimal equipment. Today's workout, this is our surprise Saturday workout. So if you're joining us live, happy Saturday. Great way to kick off your weekend here with a little exercise in the morning. So for today's surprise workout, we're going to incorporate a little bit of cardio, a little bit of strength, some ab work, but I am going to leave it all up to fate what we do. So I'm going to be drawing cards today. And so the different suits are going to correspond to different types of exercise. So our hearts will be cardio exercise. So we'll pick something that we can do just to kind of get our heart rate up. Clubs will be lower body strength exercises. Diamonds are going to be ab exercises, so core work. And then lastly, our spades is upper body exercise. So the suits will determine the type of exercise, and then the number or the face on them is going to determine the length of time that we're going to do them for. So all of the face cards are going to be 1 minute. So we can break that up however we want to once we figure out what exercise we're going to do. And then for the numbers, if I draw a 3, we'll go for 30 seconds. If I draw a 5, we'll go for 50 seconds, and so on. It'll work like that. And then the aces are the ones we want to look out for. Aces are going to be 2 minutes. So I guess if you have to be weary of any card in the deck, it's an ace, probably of cardiovascular exercise. I don't know. That's what I would least look forward to. So once we get to our workout, we're just going to be drawing cards, and we're going to go for about 15 or 20 minutes of drawing cards. So we'll get 15, 20 minutes of exercise, and then we'll end with a little bit of a cool down. But first, let's get started with a little bit of a warm up here. So we're just going to get things moving, start off with some light stuff. Grab a bottle of water if you don't have one. And then the only other thing that you may need for the workout is I've got dumbbells that I'm going to use for some of the strength stuff if we draw strength cards. But you can also use, bottles of water. You can use cans of soup, anything with a little bit of weight that you can use for some resistance. All right, let's get into the warm up here. So I'm going to start off with just some kind of marching in place with some high knees. So I'm going to swing those arms, really try to drive my knee up to my chest here. We're going to get all those joints moving during our warm up, and we will get our heart rate up here. Get prepared for a little bit more intense exercise once we get to drawing some cards. As you start to loosen up here, you can maybe even turn this into a little bit of a skip. So where we actually leave the ground a little bit, driving up onto those toes. Go for about 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to switch our movement up. And let's go ahead, we'll go into the next one. Here I'm going to grab onto my ankle and then raise my other hand up to the sky. So getting a little stretch in the front of my leg here. I'm not going to hold this for too long, just a couple seconds on the stretch, and then flip-flop to the other leg. Good. I really enjoy these Saturday workouts because you usually get a good mix of everything, a little bit of strength, some cardio exercise. I like to use the cards. Forces you to do random things. Kind of nice, keeps the variety in there. Good, moving on to our next movement here. We're gonna go for zombie kicks. So I've got my hands out in front, and I'm going to be trying to kick my toes up to my fingertips here. I do want to try to keep my leg fairly straight. And we're going for a light stretch in the back of the leg. As you loosen up here, you can think about trying to get that foot a little bit higher. Good, we get a couple more of these in, nice big high kicks here. Perfect. Next movement we're gonna go into is a little reverse lunge. So you're gonna step back into this lunge, take that torso and rotate it. Then we're back to center and stepping the other leg back. So just gonna keep alternating, stepping back different legs and rotating in the other direction. So this is one where as we start to warm up, we can get those lunges a little bit deeper, try to get that back knee closer to the floor. But do what's comfortable for you. If it's a little bit too much weight to get all the way down to the floor with your lunge, you can stick with these quarter lunges at the top here. Try to turn a little bit further as we're loosening up. We'll get that spine rotating. Good. Let's go for 2 more here. Try to get good deep lunges and nice full rotations. Nice. Okay, next one, we're gonna go into a hip hinge down. So you're gonna reach for your toes, push your hips back, stretch your hamstrings, get as far down as you can, and then we're gonna come up and extend those arms in the back, look at the ceiling, get a good extension in our back, and then same thing down, up and extend. It's always a good stretch in that back. Good, we'll get 2 more of these. Nice big extension at the top here. Reach for the sky and behind you. Whew. Okay, next one we're gonna move into is a lateral lunge. So I'm gonna get my feet a little bit further apart here. And I'm gonna lean towards one knee, keeping my opposite leg nice and straight. And then I'm just gonna flip to the other side. And I'm gonna kind of just rock back and forth here with some short stretches on each side. Should be feeling it sort of in the inside of your leg here. Take those hands, put them on your thighs if you need to. If you can handle the weight, you can do it without those hands on your thighs. Start to put a little bit more tension on the quads and a little more force in the knee. And we'll just keep on rocking here. Thinking about getting a little bit deeper every time we go side to side. Good, and I've already got a good sweat going here. It's another hot one today, at least inside my apartment anyways here in Houghton. Had a heat wave this week. Good, let's get 2 more, 1 more each side here. Great, nice job. All right, next movement we're gonna go into is we're gonna get a little side step going here. So I'm gonna side step side to side, and then I'm gonna get some arm circles. I'm gonna start forward with these. Start to get those shoulders warmed up. And as those shoulders loosen up here, you can start to get into bigger circles with those arms. Really try to use all the range of motion that you've got in your shoulder here. Nice big circles. Good. And then we can shake those arms out. I'm gonna get a little jog in place going. And I'm going to keep my feet moving, but now I'm going to bring my arms across my body into some swings. So keeping those feet chopping. I'm reaching for opposite sides of the room and then really opening up, pushing my chest out as I swing those arms back. Can get a good stretch in our chest here. If you need to, you can kind of move side to side with these. Sometimes it feels good to move a little bit in your room. Take advantage of the space you've got. Good, and let's shake those arms out. I'm gonna go back into side steps here, and now I'm gonna reverse my arm circles, and I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. So I'm gonna go backwards now. I'm gonna get right into nice big circles here. That heart rate should be coming up, breathing a little bit harder now. Good. Awesome. All right, let's go to a jog in place. So start off at about a moderate intensity here. We're gonna, over about the course of 30 seconds here, we're gonna bump up our intensity every 10 seconds so that we're running a little bit faster in place. So let's go ahead and we'll bump it up a little bit. We're going a couple miles an hour faster here, pumping those arms, trying to get those feet off the floor. Good, and this should be starting to drive that heart rate up a little bit more. Gonna move through a couple more exercises after this as part of our warm-up that'll be a little higher intensity. And then we'll take a little water break and cool down for a minute. And let's bump it up one more time, a little bit faster with the jog. Pumping those arms a little faster. Still got those feet moving. Trying to get them off the floor. If you feel like you gotta move forward and back here, you can. Cover a little ground. Good, and we're gonna go to our last movement of our warm-up here, which is gonna be speed skaters. So we're gonna be kind of getting down into a little bit of a squat here. And we're gonna be hopping from one foot to the other, swinging those arms, pretending like you are skating down an ice track here, or you're on roller blades. And what I want you to think about is getting a little bit further with those hops as we go. So trying to jump out to the side a little bit further. Keep those knees bent. Might start to feel this in your butt a little bit here. Getting those hips really warmed up. And we're gonna go for 10 more seconds. So if you can, push your speed a little bit. We'll increase the intensity just a tad as we wrap up our warm-up here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it's time. Whew. All right, warm-up complete. So grab a drink of water. We're gonna take a second here to cool down a little bit. Whew. But I am feeling ready to go for the workout now. Hopefully you are at home too. Getting all the joints nice and greased up before we get into the workout here. Whew, okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that I shuffle this deck. I don't wanna get blamed for stacking the deck with cards that I want us to do. This is fate, this is surprise workout Saturday. So it's truly gonna be a surprise for me and you of what we're doing. Shuffle these up here. Okay, I'm gonna draw our first card. And it is a 7 of clubs, which is means we got 70 seconds of a lower body strength exercise. So I think what we'll do, let's go with body weight squats. So what you can do here, get your feet wherever is comfortable, whatever width. You can point your toes at whatever angle you want to. And what we're gonna do is try to go for a good full squat as low as you can get comfortably without pain. You can use those arms as a counterweight. What I want you to do is do a little pause at the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, and then back up. Nice, slow, controlled. 1, 2, 3, back up. So we're gonna do this for 70 seconds, all right? If you think you need it, you can also grab onto weights. And I would probably just hold those up on my shoulders here in front of me and do the same thing. You can also throw a backpack on if you got a backpack with weights in it. Well, let's go ahead. 70 seconds, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Good, slow and controlled down. Back up. I'm gonna get a 1, 2, 3 pause at the bottom. But we're really gonna control ourselves on the way down. Get a good pause and back up. And if you want to just stick with my cadence here, you can watch me, or you can go at your own pace at home. Again, play with the distance that your feet are apart and the angle that your toes are pointing at. You can change that up. You can put them wherever feels most comfortable for you. And if you need to take a break during the 70 seconds, go ahead, take a break. And you can rejoin us once you feel like you're ready to do some more squats. I'm starting to feel it burn in my quads. That's perfectly normal. We've got about 20 seconds left here, or sorry, 15 seconds. So keep them good, slow, controlled. And if you want to rejoin, if you're taking a break, you can get a couple more in, and our time is in 3, 2, 1, and that's time. Good. Whew. It's funny how just body weight can get those quads burning after 70 seconds there. All right, next card. We're just going to keep ripping through them. We got a Queen of Hearts, so that means we have a minute of aerobic exercise. So here's what I think we're going to go with here. Let's go with mountain climbers. You can do these on the floor, or you can do them in a chair or on a chair. So you can lean onto the chair, get in a good push-up position, abs tight, straight line from shoulder to ankle. And then we're going to be driving those knees up to our chest. So you can do it with on a chair or the floor. Come in here. It's going to be a little bit harder down here. Or you can lean up against the wall and do the same thing, leaning on the wall. All right, we got 60 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. So totally up to you here to control your pace with this. If you need to speed it up, you can really drive those knees quickly. If you need to slow it down, just take your time. Try to maintain a good plank position here. Don't let your hips sag towards the floor. So this is kind of a combo cardio exercise and a little bit of abs here. Got to use those abs to keep yourself in position. We've got 20 seconds left. Again, if you need a break during the interval, go ahead, take one. We've got 10 seconds left, so here's your chance. If you need to make it more difficult, you can speed it up for our last 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and that's time. Whew, okay. Gonna move on to our next card. Go ahead, feel free to grab drinks of water in between our cards here. We have a 7 of hearts. So that means we've got 70 seconds of a aerobic exercise. I think for this one, we'll stay on our feet. And let's go ahead, we'll do jumping jacks. So we've got one variation here where you can just stick a foot out and bring those arms up overhead. Or you can do a hopping jumping jack here with both legs. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, here we go. I'm gonna start things off easy. And if I feel like I need to make it harder when we get halfway, I will go to a regular jumping jack here. job. We're halfway through. I think I'm gonna wait for the last 20 seconds and then I'm gonna bump up my intensity here and go to regular jumping jacks. Oops, lost my cadence there. All right, here we go. I'm going to regular jumping jacks. We're at our last 20 seconds. So if you feel like you can, increase the intensity a little bit. 10 seconds. Down to 3, 2, 1, time. Good. I'm going to grab a drink of water here. Okay, on to the next one. Let's see what fate's got in store for us here. We got an 8 of clubs, so another lower body exercise. With this one, here's what we'll do. We'll switch things up a little bit and we'll take advantage of our, we'll use our hamstrings and our glutes a little bit. So I'm gonna we'll do this from the floor because this is probably easier for most people to do at home. We're gonna do some glute bridges or hip thrusts. So what you can do is have a seat on your floor with your feet out in front of you, almost like you're gonna do a sit-up. You want your knees at about 90 degrees. And then from here, I'm gonna keep my abs tight and I'm gonna lift my butt off the floor, come back down, lift, squeeze my butt. I'm going for this straight line from my shoulder to my knee. And I'm gonna try to drive through my heels, squeezing that butt. And I'm just gonna continue this. And we are gonna go for, what do we have? We had 80 seconds. So let's go for 80 seconds. Again, if you need a break, this is a long time to do these for, take a little break and then you can rejoin after a little rest. So 3, 2, 1, here we go. Get a good squeeze in those glutes at the top, push through your heels. And stick those hands out at your side for balance, or you can put them on your chest, wherever feels comfortable. Another tip too, as we're going, and if it feels really easy, you can take some kind of weight, put it on your hips. Just hold that weight on your hips here. Make things a little bit harder, but I really want you to get to the top. Focus on squeezing your butt and holding that extended position for just a little bit. And we're about halfway through. Should be feeling it in your butt and maybe your hamstrings in the back of your legs here. Nice and slow, under control. Whenever we're doing resistance training, we want to keep control of the weight that we're moving, whether it's our body, dumbbell. Good, squeeze that butt, extend those hips towards the ceiling. Last 10 seconds, guys. Again, if you need a break, take one if it's burning too much. And you can rejoin, get a couple extra reps in. We're at 3, 2, 1, and that's time. Good. Whew. That actually, for a pretty lightweight, I'm feeling that really burn in my hamstrings and my glutes. All right, next card. 7 of spades, which means we've got 70 seconds of an upper body exercise. So I feel like we have to do push-ups. It's one of the easiest upper body strength exercises to do from home. So we can do these a number of different ways. You can do them inclined on a chair. So bringing that chest to the chair, driving up. You can lean against a wall and do the same thing, pushing, bringing your chest to the wall and then pushing the wall away. And then 2 ways that we can do this on the floor. This way is going to be a little bit easier. Go from your knees and try to keep a straight line from your shoulder to your knee, or pop right into a full push-up here where you're on your toes. All right. So we have got, what did I say? 70 seconds. So again, take a break if you need to. If you want to break it into 2 35-second intervals, that's cool. I'll let you know when we're halfway. But we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. So good, slow, controlled. I like to pick a variation where I can use a full range of motion, meaning I can get my chest all the way down. If you want to do a partial push-up where you're not going down quite as far, that works too. but I would recommend picking a variation where you can get all the way down. And you can put those hands at whatever distance apart is most comfortable for you. And we're at halfway. I'm going to take a little breather here. Starting to burn a little bit in my triceps and my shoulders. Okay, and I'm just going to rejoin once I feel refreshed. Pump out a couple more good reps here, slow and controlled. Whew. I'm going to take another little break. I'm going to go down, make these a little bit harder to go from the floor. We've got 10 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and that's time. Whew. Brutal. Okay. Let's move on to our next card. All right, we have a 10 of diamond, or a jack of diamonds, which means we've got an ab exercise here. So let's, this is one of my favorite ab exercises. It's very simple, but super effective. So I'm going to get down on the ground like I'm going to do a sit-up, knees bent. I'm going to put my arms up over my face and my chest. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up and try to reach for the ceiling. And what I'm really thinking about doing is taking my sternum and I'm trying to bring it to my pelvis and try to close this distance down. So I'm closing that distance. I'm pushing my belly button into the floor and reaching up. It seems really easy and simple, but this will have your abs burning. So we're going to go for a full minute. And I think what we'll do is I'm going to break it into 2 30-second intervals because these get pretty tough. So ready? We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So reach for that ceiling. Bring your sternum to your pelvis. Push your belly button down into the floor. And try to reach up as high as you can as you're closing that distance down. And I want you to get a little hold at the top. Once you reach that top position, just hold it for a second and then lower down nice and slow. This is more of a crunch versus a sit-up. It's a very simple movement, but it's effective. I'm already feeling my abs burn. We're at 30 seconds. Go ahead, take a little break if you need to. If you want to, you can keep on pushing through. But I think I need a break. Good, and I'm going to restart in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Reach for that ceiling. Push your belly button into the floor. And bring your sternum to your pelvis. We're trying to close that distance as much as we can. Good, we got 3, 2, 1. And that's time. Woo. Good. So I'm going to take a minute here to grab a drink. I'm always surprised at how hard those get after about 30 seconds. It seems like it should be super easy. Next exercise is a 5 of hearts. So we've got 50 seconds of a cardiovascular exercise. Here's what I'm going to go do for this one. I'm going to move my chair out of the way. For this one, we'll do some lateral shuffles. So you can bring one foot to the other. We're going to shuffle across the room. But then when you get to the side, I want you to touch the floor and then get a little hop. So reach down, get a hop. If you can touch the floor, great. If not, that's okay. And then you can speed it up to make it a little bit harder, but keeping those knees bent, and we're doing a little side shuffle. All right, 50 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Down, touch the floor, hop, shuffle. So again, the pacing's totally up to you. If you want to make this harder, you can really try to get from one side of the room to the other quickly. We're about halfway through here. Good, keep it up. Last 10 seconds. And it's time. Whew. Did it. All right. That one we're definitely going to need a little water break and cool down after. That one's tough. So take a little break. Whew. And I'm just going to do a little active break here and pace back and forth in my room, keep myself moving. So I feel ready for our next card. So I think what we'll do is we'll draw 2 more cards. We'll see what we get. And then we'll go into a little cool down after that. All right. Well, let's see what we've got for our next one. We have a 3 of clubs, which means we got 30 seconds of a lower body exercise. All right. So for this one, here's what I think we'll do. Let's go into a lunge, but we'll do 30 seconds for both legs. So I'm kind of cheating us a little bit here because we should only have 30 seconds total. But we'll do 30 on one leg and then we'll do 30 on the other leg. So we'll start here with this reverse lunge. So you're stepping back and we're going to keep using the same leg. So you're going to step back with the same leg for 30 seconds. And we're thinking about using the front leg as the one that we're pushing our foot, we're pushing through the floor with. Back leg just kind of there for a little bit of balance support. All right. So a couple of things that you can do to make this a little easier or harder. If you've got a chair, you can hang on to the chair for a little bit of balance support. You can use your upper body to help you. And then when we switch, you just switch the other side. Or second thing you can do is you can actually just make it a quarter lunge where you're not lunging down quite as far. But if you can, I challenge you to try to get all the way to the floor. All right, we're going to start 30 seconds. I'm going to go with my left leg first. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And you can kind of just put those hands wherever you need to for balance. And if you feel like you need extra resistance, you can grab some dumbbells. Hold on to those. Just have them at your sides. And we got 3 seconds left. 2, 1. That's time. Good. So we're going to flip, go to the other leg. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So now we're stepping back with that other leg and utilizing again that front leg is what we're primarily using to drive through the floor and get us back to that standing position. The sweat is really coming on now. And I'm going to add dumbbells here for our last 10. Good, slow and controlled. You always want to control yourself down. Don't let gravity just take you. 3, 2, 1, and that's time. Woo! We'll always get the legs burning. Okay. Quick sip of water here. And we are going to go into our last exercise. So let's see what Fate's got in the books for us here. We got 50 seconds of a core exercise. 50 seconds. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Because it's our last exercise, we're going to do almost a mix of cardio and core. All right. So we're going to do a plank jack. So essentially what it is you're going to get in a plank position, abs nice and tight, really focusing on pulling those abs in nice and tight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hop our feet in and out while keeping those abs tight. If that's a little bit too hard, you can just step your feet out, out, in, out, out, in. So we can do that from leaning on a chair or a couch, whatever you have, or if you want to make these nice and challenging for our last exercise, you can go right into a full plank here on the floor. And then same thing, hopping those feet or stepping in and out. Okay? So we have, what did I say? We got 50 seconds, all right? So feel free to take a break during this 50 seconds if you need. Rejoin when you can. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So keep those abs tight. Don't let your hips sag to the floor. Nice work, guys. Halfway point, I'm gonna take a little break. Woo. Come back to it when I'm ready here. Last 10 seconds, hang in there. Abs tight. 3, 2, 1. Time. Woo. Okay. So let's take a moment here to get another drink. We'll let our heart rate come down a bit. We made it through all the hard work. And we're just going to end with a little cool down here, a few stretches. Good. So let's go ahead and for now, we can just kind of step in place, or you can walk around your room. We'll keep things moving, but we're going to bring the intensity down, let the heart rate lower. That was pretty good variety for letting the cards pick. We could have got all cardio exercise, we could have got all leg strength exercise, but we got a good mix. So not bad. Whew. All right. Just going to keep stepping for just a little bit here. All right. Let's go into just a couple of stretches here to help us cool down. First one, I'm going to grab a chair for a little bit of balance here. If you've got a nice sturdy chair with you, you can grab that. If not, you can use the wall or something to lean into, but we're going to grab that ankle and pull it back to our butt here. Stretch the quads out. So again, use a wall, use a chair for some balance if you need it. If you don't need anything to grab onto, you can just freestand. And we'll stretch that quad out. Good, let's go ahead, switch sides. Grab that other leg. Take some nice deep breaths here. Great. Whew. All right, next one. I'm going to use my chair here. You could also potentially use a wall too, lean against the wall. This is going to be a good stretch for the back here. But I'm going to kind of hang on this chair, push my hips back, and I'm going to try to push my head down below my arms here, almost like I'm looking through a window, and get a good stretch through my back. This stretch always feels really good. Just think about getting a little bit deeper with this here as we hold it for a few more seconds. Try to get your head closer to the floor. Good, nice. Let's come on to that. Okay, we'll go into one last stretch here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one hand, put it on my hips. The other hand, I'm going to reach over to the wall. I'm going to hold that for a few seconds. And then when I feel like I'm ready, I'm just going to flip-flop, other hand on my hip, and reach the other hand for the wall. And just keep flip-flopping. You kind of go at your own pace here whenever you feel like you're ready to switch sides. We're getting a stretch through the side of our abdomen here and our torso. And just try to keep breathing here too. Every time you exhale, think about relaxing the muscles that you're stretching a little bit more. Let's go one more each side. Really try to reach for that wall. Last one. Ooh, okay. All right. Congratulations. Made it through the surprise Saturday workout. So I want to thank y'all for joining me and hope that you enjoyed it. I had fun. It was a good one. I like the cards and the mystery of not knowing what you're going to do next. Our next live workout is going to be Monday at 5:30. It's a strength and high intensity interval workout. So go ahead and join us Monday. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you.